Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're having a good day. It's Tuesday, February 7th. We're gonna look at the stock market, SPY. Didn't do a recap yesterday, but if you just looked at BBBY from right now to beginning of yesterday, not a lot's happened. We're about at the same price, you know, $3.23 yesterday. Today's at $3. So we'll go over that, go over my position. I have a huge position that I entered. We'll get some technical analysis, options, futures, trades I've done. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money sticks around. Here's our Twitter. You can follow us on at Happy Money YT, and Discord server we have is free to join. Link for those are in the description. A ton has happened since yesterday. Yesterday I streamed and it was just so emotionally exhausting, and just I want to stream till the end of the day too, just because it was so exciting. More exciting than anything, I guess, than exhausting. But so I wasn't able to do a video. Sorry about that. Quick recap on the SPY. SPY pretty much just traded flat yesterday. Just waiting for PAL today. So mostly range bound. I did enter a short on the futures at close yesterday, which ended up working out well. And then this morning I almost closed it, but then I didn't, and I literally closed it here. So where I closed it, I actually should have gone long, but I wanted to be patient because just the day before I closed my short here and went long, but that wasn't a good spot to go long. So but that being said, it was a nice perfect little day to trade the range. Had a nice support there, nice engulfing candle at the support, nice hammer candle, everything that you want to see for a reversal. But did pretty well on the futures to the downside, didn't do the upside, and then just kind of hung out with the SPY. Didn't do any more trades on there because yesterday BBBY went insane, and a lot of stuff went insane actually. Well, no, really just BBBY, but BBBY, GME, AMC still in the basket. Show you proof and evidence. Carvana is actually in there too, which I did not realize. If it gets volatile enough, we see Carvana move with it. So GME, my position on GME yesterday was 0, and that's because I've closed out of everything. I've considered getting back in, but I wanted some sort of evidence that they are going to basically take care of bankruptcy and get that off the table for the short to medium term. Oh, it filled. Okay. And I hadn't seen that yet, so to me it was always risky. It was just speculative investing and hoping that basically if I buy it'll go up. Nothing more than that. So I didn't get in it yesterday, but it did start to rally like crazy. FOMO took over with many. I didn't get in and figured, yeah, I just streamed it and it was fun to watch. I was up 120% at one point. Very good price action, solid volume, no big like short attacks or anything like that. Something that was interesting though during the rally, so it got all the way up to $7.30. Crazy. Very exciting stream yesterday. If you're bored and have 7 hours, just go watch yesterday's stream. But yeah, once it broke out here, this is really, or no, actually here, it broke out here, was at 13.15, so 115. That's really when it started to pull up GME and AMC. Right here you can see. So it broke out of this kind of bull flag for like 13.45, kind of in there. Where is that, like right here? Yeah, so then it pulled it up and then they were pretty tethered. So the red candle and this, that was all here, this little red and this little rally up. This range right here was right here, and then it kept going, and that was this right here. And then this is GME over here, because what happened here, oh sorry, this right here, it was right here. Yep, that there is there, okay. So we're here, and they both start ripping up, and then BBY rips up and gets halted, and GME, you can see on that same candle, 1530, so 1530 was halted. So GME kind of kept ripping up while this was halted, but before that even it was going up with BBBY here. Going up, halted, GME kept going up. BY resumed, came down. I think it even halted to the downside somewhere in here. Oh yeah, down here. Or no, actually I'm not sure where it did. But yeah, then GME got pulled down with it. So saw it on GME, saw it on AMC, saw it on Carvana too, which is what's crazy. But here's the same move on AMC. Carvana. So at that halt, look at all this volume, 1530. So I don't know if it's margin requirements or if these are somehow in the same basket, but something was going on yesterday. It was right at 1530 when this halted after this huge move to the upside, really breaking that 580, which was that big resistance from back last time we moved. BBBY moved up here, 587. So breaking that was a big margin line break, I would say, because even Carvana moved. And there's probably others too. It's just the only one I noticed. But on that halt, Carvana got volume and moved up, and then when it resumed, it came down. Carvana did the same thing, and then once the volatility left, they were basically detached. But yeah, so BBY closed the day very high, up at 580. IV was in like 600%. And then after hours, they announced a share offering of sorts. I don't know all the details of it. It's a bit confusing, but it's for preferred stock, and it's warrants as well as a preferred stock offering. From my brief, uneducated understanding of it, it will basically push off bankruptcy, at least for the short to medium term. And it's more or less a restructuring of their debt. And the shares that they are offering, the preferred shares they're offering, are not going to be tradable on any exchange. They're not going to make it basically publicly traded, or the warrants. So there's speculation potential that it's being sold to a private investor. That's already happened or could happen. There's some speculation in there for sure. And then there's also a tweet. FX Hedge said that there was a private investor putting $1 billion into BBBY. And then one of the filings they had coming out after hours. There's a lot of filings that came out after hours, but one of them was saying that they got $100 million on their debt restructure as well as this supposedly, not in a filing, but supposedly there's a $1 billion investment from a investor as well. So to me, I heard share offering initially, and I thought that's actually pretty good news, because they're going to need to basically make money to pay off debt. But it's actually a lot better news than just a traditional at the money share offering of common shares, because it is preferred shares. It's not the money. We don't know what the price will be at yet. So we're still waiting for all that news to come out. A lot of catalysts still on the horizon for it. As far as if there is this investor, who it is, the warrants, when we know the price that the warrants will be at, and yeah, so tons of catalysts for it. But for me, my understanding was that this is basically taking bankruptcy off the table. Of course, anything can happen, but that's kind of my take on it. So doesn't mean the company's going to be profitable tomorrow, but it does mean they most likely will not be going bankrupt in the near term or medium term even. So now it's just waiting for the rest of the news and kind of learn about the price of the warrants, and if there's an M&A going on. There's still all the catalysts are there basically. So, but it's more bullish and most likely not going to go bankrupt now. So for me, that gave me the confidence that I needed to go long, and so I did go long. Stock, of course, dumped on that news share offering here, and I waited, and then this morning I went long here with a pretty good amount. I just decided to kind of scale in, and let's see what would I do there. So I usually don't buy pre-market, but I did. I bought these pre-market. 1,262 shares pre-market there, and then it dumped more. This was from, I don't know if there was a news catalyst behind this move or not. I can't remember. I don't think there was. Opened up. IV is still super high, so I wanted to definitely farm some theta. So then I opened up 3 strike puts, 30 of them on here, which is basically 9,000 in buying power. It gives me the obligation to buy BBY for $3, 3,000 shares at $3 by the end of the week. So if it stays above $3, then I won't be buying the shares. If it goes below it, I might let it get assigned, or I might roll it down. We will see. So that's what I did with that one. And then somewhere, actually, yeah, this next purchase was bad, but it was up here. It was on this, what I thought was a breakout happening, but it was a false breakout. I bought a lot up here, and I used the margin that actually Fidelity allowed me to use. It's kind of interesting. The amount of margin could only be what the total count value was in my account. So I've never seen it say that, but it did say that. And here it is. So I got 13,000 shares here, and bought it kind of at the high of the day, 380. And then I sold cover calls on it. It's too big of a position for me to just want to sit. So basically, if it does rip up, I'll have to roll them up and out, or I could just honestly let them get called away for $4 and make that 20 cents per share on 13,000 shares, which isn't bad. That's a nice realized gain. Cover calls here are up a bit because it's just traded flat. That theta again is very high. IV is very high, and so capturing some of that. This was so $3,681 I received to sell these cover calls, these 130 cover calls, for this Friday at the money. So it seemed kind of silly not to do that. Again, if of course it rips up, great, but at this point it could consolidate or come down the rest of the week, and I want to be making back data. So yeah, if that works out, that'll take down 3,600 of my cost basis on it, which would be very good. And then the cash secured puts, if it stays above $3, you know, this was $1,140 of premium I received to sell these cash secured puts. So yeah, almost, let's see, over $4,000 just in theta farming on 3 days till expiration. So highly unusual to receive that kind for theta farming. Basically, last time I entered a trade like this was on BBBY with a bunch of cash secured puts, and it was at like 20 something dollars, and I entered them for 13 strike. So I think we're in a better spot now. It's much lower, so that's good. And I think bankruptcy is off the table, even maybe more so than when I entered back here, but probably not because Ryan Cohen is still in it. But it is more off the table than it has been through here, as far as I can tell. So that's what I got for there. Pretty sizable, not a beautiful amount, really. It's probably too big, so I might close it. For me to be profitable in this position, I would just need to come back up kind of my cost basis, and then the covered calls would need to still be cheaper than when I sold them. But I'll probably end up just holding this and rolling that cover call, and I'm probably going to keep the cover call pretty close to the money just to receive the maximum premium. And this is a large position for this account, because that's not a trading account, that's my long term. All that to be said. Yep. And then, so where do I see it going? I have no idea really, but there are some gaps down here, and I am fine if it comes down here. 28.50, I can see that gap getting filled. There are some more gaps even at like the $1 level. I'm not sure if it'll go that low though, just after this news that we got today. I really don't know if they'll be able to put it that low. I think there might be too much buying pressure, but depends on still a lot of news that could come out with it. Yeah, but holding this $3 level is good. If it doesn't, I think that 280, which is kind of where we had nice support back here, I think that would be a pretty significant support. So yeah, that's BBBY. It's crazy. So let's see what's going on with it. It's pretty much just flat today though. Really just killing premium. Yeah, these were down. These were up at like $600 or 600% yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Now they're 386%. There's of course a gap to the upside too, and that could also get filled. SPY's squeezing up here. I kind of want to get into another short. We'll see. GME, big sell-off today without the volatility of BBY pulling it up. It finally released the ghost and started coming down. Kind of a bear flag here. Broke through that channel. Broke out of that channel to the downside. And came down here, kind of bounced off this 20.5 support, but I'm not confident that's going to hold. I think it'll probably keep coming down. I think this might be the beginning of a downtrend, back maybe to double test or double bottom around this 15-16 range, or potentially make new lows, depending on if we're following a pattern that we've followed previously or not. Still not sure, but it could be in this area right here still. So yeah, and that, if the market comes down too, that would also of course increase the pressure to the downside there. And I thought the market was going to come down, but now it looks like it wants to go up. Let's see, so let me enter this really quick. Okay. Yeah, I gotta do it. So I should enter a short there on the ES. Anyways. Oh, I got liquidated on some of my GME shares today. Very interesting. So I have puts, long puts, to give myself margin, right? And so I closed those puts today because they were up tremendously. Well, they were up like 35%, but they were down 280% yesterday. Today they were up, yeah, 35%. It was a pretty large amount. And yeah, about 30 minutes later, they liquidated like 300 shares of mine because I didn't have the long puts for the margin. So that's fine though. I was considering selling some of these shares anyways. That's why I was doing covered calls on them. And yeah, so it's not a big deal, but it was kind of interesting. That's the first time that's happened to me. Here it is right here, margin liquidation. And then 327 shares. And then bought back, let's see, bought back covered calls, maybe? Yeah. And then I bought puts for more margin so I could do futures. And then I bought, oh, these puts just filled. So these puts I'll probably sell next week. GME keeps coming down, these 19 puts. And I think that puts my margin up, maybe. Not sure. Yeah, so I got 19 puts on GME for February, the February contracts. Sorry, it's confusing. And then I've got 15s for this week, just for more for margin, so I can still sell them. And that's what we're left with. So covered calls that I can't close because of insufficient buying power for some reason. And then these long puts, 11 strike for margin, and then these 19 puts. It's grouping it really weird. 19 puts and 50. Okay, 19 puts for February. Yeah, and then on the futures, man, crazy. So today Powell spoke. He was somewhat dovish, but actually was pretty hawkish. He was kind of both, but I think overall it's pretty hawkish, and the market's pumping. I'm not sure what it's pumping on, but let's see. I entered a short here, got stopped out. Short on the future. We're breaking out here. That's not what I want. And then entered it back in here. Made this whole way down. It was up like 2,300, and you know exactly what happened next. I put a stop limit and didn't take profits here because I'm trying not to day trade, and came all the way back up. Closed my stop. Missed out on all those profits. So that was the futures that I traded today. It was very exciting. But yeah, that's what I see going on. Sure I'm missing something. A lot has happened. If you guys haven't, hit the notification bell so you can see when I go live and jump on stream. But that's what I got. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on Discord. Peace out.